This is a story about the law of harvest, a reminder that the seeds of kindness you plant today will grow into the forest of mercy you need tomorrow. Our story begins with Angela, a young woman whose life was a daily struggle. One morning, she faced a brutal choice: use her last bit of money to get to a life-changing job interview, or give it to an elderly, disoriented man begging for food. She looked at the old man, Papa James, his eyes clouded with confusion, and saw a reflection of her own struggles. Without a second thought, she pressed the money into his hand. It wasn't just cash. It was her bus fare, her comfort, her only shot at a better life. She chose to walk for an hour under the hot sun, a small sacrifice for a moment of compassion. When she finally arrived at the grand mansion, drenched in sweat and late, the door was opened by a woman named Mabel. Mabel looked Angela up and down with disdain. "You're late," she said coldly, dismissing Angela without a second thought. For Mabel, Angela was just another poor, dirty girl who wasn't worth her time. She couldn't see the queen who had just given away her last coin to a stranger. What Mabel didn't know was that her fiancé Jeff, the owner of the mansion, had just passed Angela on the street. He felt a strange pull, a sense that he had just missed someone important, but he brushed it off. Defeated, Angela walked away, her heart heavy. Her mother was sick, and this job was her only hope. She stopped at a pharmacy to buy her mother's medication, her mind racing. Just then, a man rushed in, his voice filled with panic. It was Jeff. It was on the phone, frantic. "What do you mean you can't find him? My father has memory loss. He could be anywhere." Angela's heart stopped. She recognized the description. It was the same old man from the bus stop. "Sir," she said hesitantly, "I think I saw your father this morning. I gave him some money for food." Jeff stared at her, relief washing over his face. He quickly realized this was the woman he was supposed to interview. He saw the kindness in her eyes, a stark contrast to his fiancé's coldness. He learned about her sick mother and her long walk to his house. Moved by her selflessness, Jeff offered her the job on the spot, not just as a house help, but as a caregiver for his father. And he offered to pay her 500,000 naira a month. Far more than the standard rate, because he understood she wasn't just working for herself, she was fighting for her mother's life. Soon after, Jeff had to travel abroad for 2 months, leaving his father and Mabel and Angela's care. With Jeff gone, the mansion turned into a prison for Papa James. Mabel's true colors emerged. She was cruel and abusive, constantly taunting the old man. "I can't stand men whose parents are still alive," she once sneered, revealing her ugly truth. She didn't want a family. She wanted Jeff's inheritance, without the burden of his aging father. Angela became Papa James's only source of comfort. She cared for him, talked to him, and protected him from Mabel's cruelty. Though his memory was fading, Papa James's heart remembered. He felt a deep connection to the kind girl who had helped him when he was lost. He didn't remember the details, but his soul recognized her spirit. Then, disaster struck. Angela received a call from the hospital. Her mother's condition had worsened, and she needed an urgent surgery that would cost 5 million naira. It was an impossible amount, a crushing weight that threatened to extinguish her last glimmer of hope. Heartbroken, she cried, feeling utterly alone. How could she possibly find that much money? The next day, as she was preparing to tell Jeff she had to quit, she received another call from the hospital. A nurse's cheerful voice came through the line. "Angela, we have amazing news. An anonymous donor has paid for your mother's entire surgery. It's fully covered." Angela dropped the phone in disbelief. It felt like a miracle, a ray of divine light cutting through her darkest hour. Who could have done this? That evening, the tension in the mansion exploded. Mabel was screaming at Papa James, who was trembling in a corner. Angela couldn't stand it anymore. "Enough, Ma," she yelled, her voice filled with a newfound strength. Mabel laughed mockingly. You're telling me what to do? You're fired. Get out of my house." "I am not leaving him like this," Angela declared, taking the old man's hand. Just then, the front door swung open. It was Jeff. He had come back early, a deep unease, having followed him overseas. He had installed a hidden camera before he left, and he had seen everything. Mabel's sweet act melted away. "Jeff, baby?" Jeff ignored her and knelt before his father. "Papa, are you okay?" For a moment, the fog in Papa James's mind cleared. He looked at his son, then at Angela. "Son, this is the girl. The one who gave me her last money. She is the one." Jeff stood up and faced Mabel, his eyes cold as ice. "I know who paid for Angela's mother's surgery, Mabel. I did." He pulled a crumpled piece of paper from his pocket. "When I found my father that day, he was holding this. It's a phone number and a note. She gave me her heart. I tracked that number. It led me to Angela." He pointed to the door. "Your bags are packed. Get out. You will never come near my father or this home again." Months later, the mansion's garden was a place of peace. Angela's mother, fully recovered, sat chatting with Papa James. Angela was no longer she was now the manager of Jeff's new foundation, an organization dedicated to providing care for the elderly. The girl who once gave away her last coin and walked for an hour now drove her own car, a testament to the fact that kindness is the only currency that never loses its value. It always, always pays back with interest. Thank you for watching. Remember to be kind, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories.